As you can see on our screen there, we're showing you right now where the president has arrived in Dallas. People are gathered waiting to hear him speak. Of course, our reporter Del Waters is there. We sent him to Dallas, Texas to see what he could find out about exactly what's happening, who's there, who's involved. The White House not giving a whole lot of specifics about exactly who was invited to this and why. But we do know that this is meant to be a significant step forward in trying to heal the nation or try to find some sort of common ground and find ways for the African American community and people of color to feel some sort of decision making is being done to protect them. So you can see there, this is live right now in Dallas, Texas, as people are gathered here. As the president is in the hometown of George Floyd, ironically, to gather with leaders to discuss all that's happening in this country right now, specifically as it relates to race and police reform.
Is that Attorney General Bill Barr, it appears, on the left side of the screen that just sat down? Not 100% sure, but it certainly resembled the Attorney General of the United States. As you said, very few details being passed along by the administration. I think for the American people, you can only hope that this is something, as you said, that will help unite this country and move all of us in the same direction with a better understanding of where we are headed in regards to police reform.
And it's actually very important to note that the Black News Channel, of course, we just launched this year in February of 2020, not knowing that we would hear about these types of issues, but being able to be a voice for the African American community, no matter what side of the aisle you're on.
Yes.
We've committed ourselves to hearing what people have to say. As you can see right there, people gathering, taking the podium for this symposium. I'm trying to look and see if I can figure out who all is there. It's hard from the shot to see. But as I was saying, you know, the Black News Channel really couldn't have come at a better time. And we have our reporter there, Del Waters, to cover this. It's not easy to get into that press pool. It's not easy to be a part of just the journalistic landscape. Because we all know there's a reason why we have a Black network, because in this field as well, we've wanted our voices heard. So the timing is perfect, and we want to bring our viewers as much information as possible and let them hear for themselves. That's one of the reasons why we do like to continually go live to a lot of these events, protests, meetings, whatever we can, because then you can hear for yourself exactly what's going on. And we're not filtering the news, we're bringing it to you. Right. We've got a real passion for letting the African American community and those outside of the African American community hear the voices of those who are making the decisions. You know, all of us here as a collective, we want the best for our country, but let's face it, the power is in the hands of the few. And so we need to hear exactly what their thoughts are, what they believe, what they feel is right, because that's the direction that the country goes in. So it's important for us to bring our viewers events like this, especially when it comes to the President of the United States, because we know how much of an issue it's become with him being involved in these matters where normally you wouldn't hear so much from a president. But these are unprecedented times, and the country is in turmoil right now over race relations, over COVID-19, over unemployment numbers, the economy. And so this is the leader of the free world, and we have to keep in step with what he's saying, what he's doing, and our viewers can decide for themselves what direction they feel they want to take afterwards, and what decisions they need to make for their own communities.
And what you said a moment ago is striking. The reason that we're here is for reasons like this, to bring you coverage like this, and especially at this particular time. These last couple of weeks, frankly, have been explosive in American history, the likes of which we have not seen in decades, arguably since 1968, when it was a year that saw the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the assassination of Robert Kennedy, and the riots that followed, particularly Dr. King's assassination. And so it is crucial right now, this particular time period, and it's why it's our pleasure at BNC to bring you live coverage such as this. One thing I did notice, Laverne, unless my eyes are deceiving me, I don't know how far apart they are separated there on the dais, but it does not appear as if anyone up there is wearing a mask.
It does not, and that's of course one of the items that we talked about. The president has never worn a mask in public, and that's something that people everywhere are still being asked to do. Along with this roundtable, the president is supposed to be attending a joint fundraising committee dinner this evening in Dallas. It's at a private residence, and they're trying to raise $10 million for Trump Victory, which is the Republican National Committee. They are raising the money, of course, for him to be reelected. Interestingly enough, the price tag for a couple is $580,000.
Hold on, what?
$580,000 to attend this fundraiser that's going to be happening after this leadership roundtable. This is going to be one of President Trump's first in-person fundraising events since March, of course, because that's when the coronavirus hit and political activity really stopped. So what you're going to see this evening after the roundtable is really the first attempt at getting back to business, the politics, the fundraising, those sorts of things, because this is an election year. Normally at this time, there's heavy campaigning going on. Normally at this time, if it wasn't for coronavirus and the race issues, we would be talking about campaign events, and we would be talking about debates and platforms and that sort of thing. So exciting times, different times. We're happy to bring you this live. We're going to continue on. We're going to take a quick break. Actually, you know what? I think we are hearing that the president is coming out, so we don't want to take a break if he's coming to speak. And there you see him. He is indeed on the stage, once again, live in Dallas, Texas. We're going to listen in and see what exactly the president has to say. We are told he will be making some remarks about race, although you never really know.
Never know.
So we are going to listen in and hear what's happening.
Nice place, wow. I've been hearing about this one. Great job. Great job. Thank you very much for being here. It's an honor.